but soft. What light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun, and I think she's out on the balcony. Okay, I know you're disappointed. She wasn't there. Just use your imagination. But what about the location here? As always, thumbs up, subscribe, bell notifications on. I hope you enjoy this episode in Verona, the city of love. Oh, I didn't realise you were there. I'm just scribing the outline for today, where we're going to go, what we're going to see here in Verona. I love working with the quill, by the way. Now, it's always good to have a plan with a little bit of flexibility, but we're trying to see all of Verona in the one day. So we're starting early at the Verona Arena, and unfortunately that's out of action. We can't go inside because they're doing some necessary works, as is the Borsaro gate, the ancient gate that leads into the historical centre of Verona. So that's you'll see it's got a cover over it where the work is happening, and that's something we have to contend with when we're travelling around to these beautiful cities, that at some point in time restoration work does need to happen. Now, the first thing I'll show you in a moment is the rest of this lovely little apartment, and then we're going to hit the road, not running, but we're going to walk briskly. Verona is a very, very walkable city. I would say it's smaller than Florence, so we should be able to see what we need to see in one day. Look, I'll just finish off my sentence and let's get started, okay? I hope you enjoy the day with me. Brilliant. Brilliant. Where we're staying is the Suite di Gulietta, so I'll take you in and show you around. And look, that's the view of the balcony, of course, Juliet's balcony, as we head up to our apartment. There's two more little apartments on this floor, but we head up these stairs. Here's our door to the apartment, so I invite you in and I'll show you around. So as we come in, we've got a few stairs to navigate. Large mirror. I nearly walked into that thinking it was a room, actually. Okay, I'll just show you around. Little kitchen area in there, I'll show you that later. We've got some nice beams and a bit of fresco sort of work on the ceiling. So the main bedroom, quite spacious. And I'll show you the bathroom now. La Suite di Giulietta. So look, I did bring my own bottle up, but they're available for purchase too. And a nice little kitchen area. And this particular suite is the penthouse suite. Now I just do want to show you something from the window here. And this is how close we are. Look at that balcony over there. Hey, so welcome to my little tour of Verona. We're in the Piazza. It's quite significant, the influence over the years. There's most recently the Austrian influence, and we've got the Roman influence. So behind me, the Verona Arena, the Roman amphitheatre, built actually a little bit earlier than the Colosseum in Rome, AD 30. And you know what? Each summer they still hold opera performances there. Now that's something next summer we're going to try and do. Come up here. The performance goes until about midnight. Everyone in the crowd are holding candles. It's apparently just magical inside, the atmosphere. Cut it with a knife. So that's something, a long-term plan. Get back here for the opera. So the Verona Arena, it's in the Piazza. Obviously a must-do location to visit when you're here in Verona. Lots of restaurants in the Piazza as well. It's a very popular place. It's nice, isn't it? People out sightseeing, socialising. The horse statue, the first king of Italy. That statue is in most major cities in Italy. So part of the original defensive wall that surrounded Verona, about 12 kilometres in circumference, and we can see it winding further along. And behind me is the old castle, CastelVecchio, 14th century, and really a fortress built by and used by the Scaligero family. I mean, that ruling dynasty that were a bit like the Medici back in Florence. Apparently built on old Roman ruins, so the history here is massive, isn't it? Let's go in and have a look. The CastelVecchio is the most important military construction of the Scaligero dynasty that ruled Verona during the Middle Ages. The castle is surrounded by a ditch, as you saw, now dry, which was once filled with waters from the nearby Adige River. CastelVecchio is now home to the CastelVecchio Museum. Now, the CastelVecchio Bridge, or Scaligero Bridge, was built in the 14th century, really as a safe escape route from the CastelVecchio. Unfortunately, the bridge was totally destroyed, along with the Ponte Pietra, by the retreating German troops. Now, the bridge was thankfully reconstructed, and that work began in 1949 and was completed 2 years later in 1951. Now behind me is the Arco dei Gavi. It's an ancient Roman arch that was really built to glorify a very powerful Roman family here in Verona, way back, and it was dismantled by the French in 1805. And then in the 1930s, Mussolini had it rebuilt here. Not on the original place, mind you, because that was on a main thoroughfare now, but it was really admired structure during the Renaissance period due to its uniqueness, I guess. Let's go. And look here as I pan back. There we can see the beautiful bridge known as the Ponte Scaligero, which connects into the CastelVecchio. Now Verona is half encircled by this river, the Adige River. It's about 410 kilometres long, so it's the second longest in Italy. It begins in the Alps to the north of Verona. I love the autumn leaves. And by the way, here in Verona, It's a little bit colder than Florence, further north. It's about 8 or 9 degrees Celsius. The sun's coming out, however. Look at the blue skies finally. The fog's lifted. It's going to be a great day here in Verona. Porta Borsari. It's the original gate, Roman gate, into the historical centre of Verona. Unfortunately, as you can see, it's under restoration, but that gate is 2,000 years old. So we're now in the historical centre of Verona, and you can just tell, can't you? Look at that beautiful building, such history. Oh, they're little hedgehogs, I guess. Cute, aren't they? This is a pretty little laneway, isn't it? Good opportunity too to perhaps find somewhere to eat some local produce. Saturday morning. That looks fresh, doesn't it? Looks nice. We are here on the Ponte Pietra, the first bridge constructed by the Romans when they arrived in Verona in the 1st century BC. In the Middle Ages, the tower was added to the bridge, which can be admired today. The bridge has suffered damage from the frequent flooding of the Adige River and was restored several times and had to be reconstructed after being destroyed at the end of World War II. The Verona funicular is an inclined lift and costs €2 for a one-way trip or €3 to return. Now you can't complain about that price. From the top of the hill you can see all of the red roofs of Verona's historical centre, the Adige River and the surrounding hills. Now, the best time to visit Castel San Pietro would be at sunset, when the sky turns orange and the city is bathed in a warm glow. It would be much like being at Piazzale Michelangelo for sunset in Florence. Did you know the long thin cypress trees are the male trees, whereas the cypress trees like that one there, flat at top, rounder, I guess wider hips, females. I didn't know that until just then. See that cypress tree there? Female. And that's where we were not long ago, talking about the cypress trees. No offence, please, no offence with regarding male-female trees. The river's up, isn't it? Beautiful. It is lovely here in Verona. You've got to come to Verona too, but how do you fit all of these cities into your Italian adventure? Well, you just can't. 2 or 3 visits, I guess, or you do what I've done here, and you live in Italy, and then we jump on a train Friday night, hour and a half, we're in Verona, and we wake up Saturday morning and we're walking around. We'll spend the night here and train back to Florence in the morning. Train so cheap, we paid a little bit more for our room, and what a room we've got. Just have a look at this. And there's the Pandora Christmas cake. So the Pandora Christmas cake, unique to Verona. I think we need to go in and get one. Afternoon tea? Yes. Just made a purchase, a Pandora Christmas cake, and we threw in a few cookies, because you never know. Okay, you never know. We're going back for a cup of tea, put our feet up for a little bit. Verona, it's a very pretty city. It really is. Very, very walkable. Could you do it in a day? Well, we sort of have. We're in Veneto, so it's not far from Venice either. So if you're visiting Venice, why not head over to Verona as well. The Santa Maria Antica church can be seen here,
and it dates back to the end of the 7th century. The church acted as a private chapel of Verona's ruling Scaligeri family. Now the Scaligeri tombs, as we can see, are located here just outside the church. These tombs celebrate the Scaligeri family who ruled in Verona from the 13th to the late 14th century. As we can see, the tombs are separated from the street by a wall of iron grills. The tombs, by the way, are one of the most outstanding examples of Gothic art. And these tombs can be found just around the corner from Romeo's original dwelling. So I'm in Piazza dei Signori, just like the Piazza della Signora in Florence, political centre of Verona. And look, they're setting up for the Christmas markets, which will be happening in Florence too soon at Piazza Santa Croce. Christmas tree is up. Now behind me is Dante Alighieri, the father of Italian language and literature. After being exiled and banished from Florence, he lived here in Verona for about 11 years and actually lived in the building just in front of me there. It's a wonderful piazza, this one, so I'll just show you the building behind me there, the oldest, right around to the newest building, which was probably 19th century when the French were here. Now, can we see that sculpture there? It's about 400 years old, and we can see that a ball is being held in the right hand. Anyone who walks underneath that sculpture and is exceptional, then the ball will leave the hand and be dropped. Now that's been there for 400 years. It's still there. I walked under it earlier today. It's still there. So that sums up myself, doesn't it? Getting back to this piazza, it's pretty special at night too, isn't it? And it's going to be nice here during market time when the Christmas stalls open up. And just behind me is the Torre delle Lamberti, the tower of Verona. And look, here's the plan. We're going to climb up now. I'll see you at the top. Now, if you've seen my episode in Luca, the tower there, where I was the only one, a little bit different here, as you can see. But I'm going to show you the views nevertheless. Off in the distance, snow on the hilltops. The advantage of climbing a tower within the historical centre, just like in Lucca, you can see things a lot easier. €6 to climb the tower. Actually, it's €6 to jump into an elevator. So unlike at Lucca where you're climbing up. Lucca's a great little town too to have a look at. I've done an episode on Lucca too, so I'll leave the link to that below also. So I'm in Piazza Erbe. It's got some history here like everywhere else in Verona, and this piazza is just beautiful. Normally food markets here, but obviously the Christmas theme is setting in. The oldest houses in Verona up there, the 12th century. Isn't it beautiful? It truly is. Market stalls, Venetian masks dominate really, don't they? I took a little trip to Venice, and you can check out that episode. I'll put it in the video links below, but my day trip to Venice was really all about getting one of the masks. Now, in terms of the authenticity here, you've just got to look behind the mask, and has it got that paper mache feel about it? Otherwise, and these ones do look a bit plastic to me. Okay, and that's my point. Otherwise, they could be just what I call a genuine fake. It's still a nice little memento, but if you're going to buy one, you want to make sure you get something that has been made in Venice. So therefore, why not go to Venice? It's not far from Verona actually. So one of the market guys did acknowledge some plastic masks, and you can see there straight ahead, you can pick them. And he then said the paper mache types are about 35. Look, a fair bit cheaper than Venice, that's for sure. So I'm a little bit sceptical, actually, about the authenticity of it. Piazza Erbe, lined with restaurants, lined. I'm sure you can hear the atmosphere. Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. It's iconic, isn't it? Globally massive, and as a consequence, it's a pretty popular tourist spot. I'll show you what I mean. Look at this. Romeo and Juliet is alive and well in Verona. The balcony. It is frantic in here. Hey, a story that's lasted ages, but actually it was a story written 300 years before Shakespeare. So the original story, 300 years before Shakespeare wrote it, finished with a happy ending, living happily ever after. Shakespeare, however, when he modified the story, put his tragic mark on it, didn't he? So there we have Juliet there, and look at the crowds. Beautiful courtyard, the balcony above, and that's where we're staying. See that top window? Not a bad location. But behind me you can see the statue of Juliet, and the belief is that you touch the statue, you'll find love. Now, what the story I've heard is you have to touch Juliet's breast, so I'm not going to do that, no way. And that's not true. You touch any part of the statue and you'll find love. Now, I really don't need to touch a statue at all. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Because I've already found love many, many years ago. But I'm going to get in there because everyone else is too. I'll give it a go. Okay, so I'm going to leave Romeo and Juliet and the statue shortly. I'm just showing you how busy it is in here, but it's lovely. I don't know what you could do. Get here as early as you can, I guess, to avoid the crowds. And keep in mind, this is not high season at all. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. The accommodation, I haven't told you, was a bit over €600 for the 2 nights. It's a bit, isn't it? But I was inspired by, there's a few Hollywood movies actually, but loving the villa, that inspired me. I think deep down I was a bit of a romantic. Watch that movie and you'll understand what I mean. It was really good. Looked out the window, saw the balcony there. Today it's been really good with time, and it makes us realise if you're doing a long tour over 2 or 3 weeks, you would need some downtime at some stage. We're fortunate we can jump on a train tomorrow and we've got a few rest days, even though we're back at work next week. Hey, by the way, I hope you've liked this episode. Thumbs up, subscribe, bell notifications on. I'll see you next episode. I've got a feeling it could be linked to the Christmas spirit back in Florence, because the lights are going up. I know the market is going up soon too, so that's going to be really nice to share with you. Ciao for now.